Welcome everyone, let's jump straight in. Today, we're going through a comprehensive explainer of a Maiden Early Trust's new acceptable use of artificial intelligence policy. Think of this as your essential training guide for navigating the world of AI at work. Our goal today is simple. We want to give you a really clear, supportive framework so you know exactly why, how, and what AI can be used for in your day-to-day role. We absolutely want to empower you to reduce your workload, but we have to make sure we're all staying completely compliant with safeguarding and data protection standards.
So, here is our playbook for today. We're going to cover 6 key areas: principles and purpose, approved versus prohibited tools, guidelines for staff use, managing student AI use, safeguarding and data protection, and finally, handling breaches and incidents. Starting with Section 1, Principles and Purpose, Educational Enhancement and Compliance. To kick things off, we need to talk about the real core ethos of the Trust's policy. We actively want you to use AI to improve educational outcomes and, frankly, to take a chunk out of your administrative burden. But we operate on a strict human-in-the-loop model. What does that mean? Well, AI is a fantastic tool to inform and strengthen your professional practice, but at the end of the day, it's just a really capable drafting assistant. The ultimate responsibility and accountability for any final output always rests entirely with you. There's a specific quote from the policy that hits the nail on the head. Final judgment, accountability, and oversight remain the responsibility of people, not automated systems. That is absolutely crucial. You can never outsource your professional, pedagogical, or administrative judgment to an algorithm. We all know AI can sometimes spit out inaccuracies or hidden biases, so your expert human oversight is the vital filter before anything an AI generates gets in front of a student, a parent, or colleague. Let's move to Section 2, Approved versus Prohibited Tools, Knowing the Boundaries. Okay, there is a massive difference between the AI tools you might play around with at home and the ones we are allowed to use here at work. Consumer-grade AI platforms, they are strictly prohibited for trust-related business. The reason is simple. They offer zero organizational data safeguards. They literally use the information you type in to train their public models. Enterprise-grade AI, however, is built specifically for organizations. It locks our data down securely, ensures it's never used to train public models, and guarantees we stay fully compliant with UK data protection laws. So what tools are actually approved? We have a great sanctioned ecosystem for you to use. The heavy hitters are Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini. But, and this is a very big but, you must only access these using your official trust-provided login. No personal accounts. We also fully support tools like Notebook LM, Adobe Firefly, Canva, Brisk Teaching, and TeachMate AI. Sticking to these approved platforms is exactly what keeps our entire network legally secure. On the flip side, we have to be crystal clear about what is off-limits. The public version of OpenAI's ChatGPT is banned for work. Also, those AI meeting note takers you see popping up, Otter.ai, Fireflies.ai, Read.ai, they are strictly forbidden unless they've been formally risk-assessed, approved, and every single person in the meeting explicitly consents. And the golden rule? Never ever enter personal or sensitive data into any AI tool. That means no student names, no year groups, no ethnicities, completely off limits. Right, on to Section 3, Guidelines for Staff Use, Working Smarter. For our teaching staff, AI is a real game changer for reclaiming your time. You can use these approved tools to draft up lesson plans, whip up engaging worksheets, or build detailed assessment rubrics and model answers. It's also brilliant for summarizing dense educational research or coming up with fun, creative analogies to explain tough concepts to your classes. Just keep in mind, whatever the AI gives you is a rough first draft. It doesn't know your specific classroom dynamics. Your refinement is what turns it into a useful resource. And for our associate and support staff, the perks are exactly the same. You can leverage these enterprise tools to blast through routine emails, build out project schedules, or create administrative templates. Got a tricky job description to write or need to summarize a bunch of anonymized staff survey feedback? Let the AI do the heavy lifting on that initial draft. Automating that repetitive admin means you get to focus on the strategic, human-centric work that actually needs your attention. Moving along to Section 4, Managing Student AI Use, Literacy, and Integrity.
Part of our job is governing how our students interact with these incredibly powerful tools, and we do this based on their developmental stage. For primary, reception to year 6, there is no direct access to general-purpose generative AI. It's entirely teacher-mediated. Down in secondary, years 7 to 9 get supervised exploration. By years 10 and 11, they get structured access to specific approved tools. And finally, For our sixth formers in years 12 and 13, we step back a bit and grant guided autonomous use to support their advanced research.
But this brings us to a huge question, doesn't it? How do we actually identify AI misuse in pupil assessments? Because we have to know that the work a student turns in is a genuine reflection of what they've learned.
Spotting misuse really comes down to a mix of your professional instinct and structured checks. Look for sudden, weird shifts in writing style. If a student suddenly starts using vocabulary that belongs in a PhD thesis, that's a red flag. Look for missing planning stages. Remember, generative AI loves to hallucinate and completely invent facts, and it often writes very vague, surface-level fluff that lacks the specific personal insights you taught in class. Honestly, if you suspect something, the absolute best way to check is just pulling the student aside and asking them to verbally explain the concept to you.
Now, when we talk about formal assessments, the rules are totally ironclad. Literally, no AI tool can be used in any examination without express written approval from the Joint Council for Qualifications, the JCQ. Every single submitted assessment has to be demonstrably the student's own words. Trying to pass off AI-generated text as original work is academic dishonesty, plain and simple.
Section 5. Safeguarding and data protection are priority.
We are really excited about the benefits of AI, but we are also hyper-aware of the grave safeguarding risks it brings to the table. We're talking about things like deepfake bullying, impersonating staff or students, generating inappropriate images, and even AI chatbots being used for grooming. Everyone receives training on this, and if you see or hear anything concerning, you must report it immediately. Just to be clear, failing to follow AI safety policies is a serious matter that falls under the staff disciplinary policy.
Because those risks are so real, our technical safeguards have to be incredibly rigorous. Any third-party AI tool used anywhere in the trust has to be risk assessed. If it touches personal data, a formal Data Protection Impact Assessment, or DPIA, must be completed and approved by our governance panel. You can't just find a cool new AI browser extension and install it for schoolwork. It absolutely has to go through the official channels.
And finally, Section 6, handling breaches and incidents, immediate action. Accidents happen, but we all need to be vigilant. So what counts as a reportable breach? A major one would be uploading confidential info, say a student's educational needs report, into something public like the consumer version of ChatGPT. Other breaches include unauthorized data disclosure, losing a school device that has AI processed data on it, or getting tricked by an AI-generated phishing scam. If a breach does occur, we need you to act immediately. Step 1, the trust will work to contain the breach, which might mean temporarily locking down systems or resetting your passwords. Step 2, report it straight away to your line manager, the head of IT, or the data protection officer. And Step 3, fully assist with the investigation. We might need access to your AI logs or login details just to help us secure the network, and your full cooperation there is essential. And that really brings us full circle to our ultimate goal here at the Made in Early Trust. We genuinely want you to lean into these approved enterprise-grade AI tools, use them to innovate, create amazing learning experiences, and definitely use them to cut down your admin time. But just remember the golden rule. The technology is merely your assistant. You are the expert. So I'll leave you with this final thought as you start integrating these tools into your week. AI can absolutely save you hours of administration. But are you always ensuring that the final professional judgment remains yours? Keep that in mind and you'll do great. Thanks so much for your time today and for your continued dedication to keeping our community safe, compliant, and thriving.